Hello everybody, my name is Alex, I play D&D, and last time we played Shit Got Nuts, to say the very least. So last time we played was a week ago today. We play again tonight, and I will probably make this either tomorrow or Monday again for what happens tonight, but we're going to figure out what happens tonight, and I think it'll be rather interesting. So today was sort of a downtime session where the party wanted to go do their own stuff. They had kind of finished up the mission they were on, and they wanted to go do their own things. And so they kind of twiddle around town, and they ended up getting into some hijinks because of that, which led to it led to them. So it's leading to their next little quest, which will be interesting. Going one by one, I chatted with each of the party members, and most of them wanted to use their gold somehow. They had each last session gotten around 800 gold pieces, which, based on the old school essentials rule set right here, here we are, detailed encumbrance. So if they're carrying 800 coins on top of all of their gear already, they have been slowed to the point that their encounter movement rate is 10 feet per turn. So some of the party went from being able to run 40 feet in a turn to 10. And they're like, oh shit, we need something to carry our money, and we need to be able to carry our money in the first place. So a lot of them bought horses, and I should have planned for that. But yeah, they bought horses. And we figured that out. One of the illusionist wanted to buy a dog, and they're like, I want a war dog. And I'm like, you're not going to be able to find a war dog in this small town. So they just bought some farmer's old hunting dog who they need to name. Yes, the knight bought a war horse that was named Hugo, and they bought saddlebags and made barding for them so that Hugo was protected. And they went off on a fun little adventure. Once all of the shopping was good and done, the dwarf ranger was incredibly interested in learning more about the Dragon Knights and their place in the world. And instead of asking the Dragon Knight about that, because I don't think he fully understood. I don't think Dawson, the player, fully understood what Corbin's character was, and so he went and started asking around in the local tavern instead of straight up confronting Corbin about, like, hey, I would like to ask about, hey, you breathed acid on people. He went around and he started asking around, so he went and he talked to the bartender, who has not met Corbin's character, the Dragon Knight Vervidox, and the bartender was like, keep your fucking voice down. What I support the good king and his now dead rule. Not everybody does. That is when they got to talk to Flight Captain Marwena, who is sitting at the other end of the bar. They are an elf who I sort of teased in the first session. Nobody really wanted to go talk to them aside from, I think, Summer, just because Summer likes elves. But the dwarf started talking to Flight Captain Marwena, who works for the Overlord. They work for the person trying to hunt down all the Dragon Knights. And the twist there is Flight Captain Marwena kind of hates the Overlord and speaks of all of this rebellion going on against him, or against them. They don't know that. Shh, that's a secret. The Overlord is meant to be mysterious. Nobody knows anything about them. Flight Captain Marwena talks about all this rebellion going on, and the dwarf is kind of getting wrapped up into their zealotry that Flight Captain Marwena is bringing to the table, and they're like, I want to take over the Overlord. Would it bring me? The dwarf's motto has so far been very conquistador-esque. They've been for God, for glory, and for gold, and they're like, that could get me all of those things. If I take out the Overlord, I kind of want to fuck that guy up. So the dwarf seems to now have some will behind his words, which is nice. These two are not talking particularly quietly anymore, and some bounty hunters that I had put in the bar, I expected somebody to fuck up and mention Verve when they weren't supposed to. So I've been putting bounty hunters in the bar, and the bounty hunters here. There's a Dragon Knight. That's like, it's like 2,000 gold for him dead. Let's go kill that guy. And so they leave the bar, and Owen is like, oh fuck. So the bounty hunters leave the bar, and the dwarf is like, oh fuck, I have fucked up very badly. Grond, come with me. Grond was upstairs trying to hire some people, and they ended up hiring a Swedish man. Not actually Swedish. He had a Swedish accent, which was fun to do. His name was Mikkel, and he was traveling with a bunch of dwarves and axemen, and they're sort of just like a little mercenary band. And the two, with leaving kind of Mikkel behind, Mikkel did not follow them. The two of them, Grond and Owen, go and try to find Verve, and they are too late. They see that the bounty hunters have already started attacking Verve. They've knocked him off of his horse, and they are trying to get nets around him, and a fight breaks out. And long story short is Verve ends up losing a finger, and I almost killed Grond. As soon as I almost killed Grond reaches 0 hit points, and I'm like, I don't think the death rules in Old School Essentials are going to work for this group. We're a more narrative-based group. People are already attached to their characters, and they really like their characters, and they want to see where they end up going. I sort of stopped for a second. I was like, Summer, you're the person who's had a character die. Are you okay if we change the rules of death? And Summer was like, yep, that is perfectly fine with me. With that permission, instead of dying, the bandits cut Grond's arm off. And this was sort of in a frenzy as they're like running away. The party had already done, or not even the party, just the three of them, Verve, Owen, and Grond had already done quite a bit of damage to these 4 bounty hunters, who I think I was using bandit stats or something, that's why I keep saying bandits. But these 4 bounty hunters, they had already killed 2 of them. Grond had already killed 2 of them. Grond had already killed 2 of them, and Grond is now bleeding out and dying, and so they take him to a church, and he's getting treated, and that's where we're going to pick up next session. And I think they're going to go try and find a witch to regrow Grond's arm, which means I had to think of a witch. And luckily, I had been reading Headlopper, which is a comic series by Andrew MacLean, with art by Mike Spicer, and it is very good, very OSR if you're looking for cool kind of Conan the Barbarian OSR kind of comics that are not the actual Conan the Barbarian comics. There's an indie comic. I think it's published by Image. I bought this on Amazon. Obviously not the best, but my local comic store doesn't have it, and I had Amazon gift cards from relatives for Christmas. So cool, evocative art, and the main character, Norgal, carries around the severed head of a witch, which is super cool. And the witch can still speak and do all sorts of things, and the reason Norgal carries them around is because Norgal doesn't want the witch just kind of sitting out like hexing random people, so Norgal has taken on this responsibility of, well, I guess I have to carry this hag everywhere, or she'll like start cursing people and turning them into frogs, or like lighting them on fire. So that's his deal, and I was like, I can just steal that. I can take what I like and put it in my game. So that is what I'm doing. Next session, if they go and try and find the witch, they will find an empty hut and a trail leading to the barbarian camp that they are already headed to. And they will meet Karg, Conqueror of Oaks, and the severed head of Agatha Blue Witch, who will have many different ideas as to how that arm can be regrown. But she's going to want a favor. She's going to want to be whisked away from Karg, and Karg isn't going to want to do that unless the party proves that they can take care of Agatha. That will be the next session. We'll see how that goes tonight. If you are out there watching, I am your biggest fan. Thank you.